What is poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video. And today we're taking a look at another series review, one of the newest series reviews, one of the ones which led the change on the channel to evolve series reviews into what they are today, what they are now, and it paved the way. It was Sonic Prime, and Sonic Prime Season 1, there is already a review on the channel, and it set the sort of slate for how I want to do series reviews from now on. And they have continued to evolve, continued to change, continued to grow from that point. And I'm so thankful for it. So, going into Sonic Prime Season 2, a Sonic show which I love, as you've probably heard from Season 1, if you watched that review. But I want to take shows season by season now, instead of overlooking it as a whole. So, now that Season 2 is dropped, I can look at Sonic Prime Season 2 and get into it. So it continues exactly where it left off last time, with the Egg Gang, the Egg Group from New York City, going into the Shatter space and traveling across the dimensions. We do have Sonic running into Shadow, and in doing this, Shadow takes him back to the Ghost of Green Hill. So the Ghost Realm, or the Blueprint Realm, which 9 calls it, but we'll get to that later. They basically go back and they see the shards, they see the shatter space, and this big crystal that it once was has shattered into 5 different pieces. One in this ghost place, one in the pirate place, one in New York City, one in the jungle, and then one where 9 wants to go, which is basically just a desolate desert. We have Shadow revealing his plan to Sonic, saying how he's going to go to all these different places, using 9's technology to gather the crystals and rebuild it here. Sonic doesn't want Shadow to do it. Shadow doesn't want Sonic to do it. So they argue, and instead of working together as a team, they fight for a good episode, stealing the tech back and forth from each other, and Shadow actually gets it in the end, and breaks through into the Shatter space, and tries to go into New York City, but he's unable to. So he has to work with Sonic. For whatever reason, Shadow cannot travel between dimensions like Sonic can, and he can only go into the Ghost of Green Hill. I don't know why Shadow's the only one that can do this, but he is like a mentor to Sonic for the rest of the series. We then go to, I do believe the first place we go to is the jungle, and in the jungle, we have the baby and the teenager of the Egg family, the Eggmen group, and they're cutting down the forest, sending out the egg drones to try and steal the crystal or the shard from the, I forgot what the jungle's called. It's like the maze or whatever, and they succeed. Amy Rose, or Thorn, had it in the bird. The bird threw it up, gave it to Sonic, and Rose, trusted Sonic enough to come back and rebuild the jungle once she's done. So they ran through, and obviously Sonic wanted to protect them from the Egg People, and obviously the Egg People didn't follow him. They stayed fighting the jungle versions of the Sonic gang, and Sonic didn't like that, so he ran back and lost the shard. We then go to the pirate place, because the Egg People now have the shard, but this time it is the very sort of ninja samurai Eggman and the old Eggman, which are going here to steal the blue shard. We go back to the pirate Sonic group, and it is a massive battle between ships, between ocean, and the pirates actually turn on Sonic, thinking he deserted them to go get the shard, and they start fighting him. We then have the shard falling back into the Egg People's hands, and they go back to New York City. Guess who snuck aboard the ship with Sonic? It was the Captain Knuckles. Sonic then saves Captain Knuckles in New York City from getting injured, and just leaves him in the streets. He then teams up with Rebel and Knuckles from the Rebel group in New York City, and they go and fight the Egg People. 9 has been trying to slow them down for a while, disabling their comms, disabling their ships, and talking to Sonic through his shatter gloves, his tech gloves, whatever you want to call them. We then have the teenager noticing Tails being a traitor, and then the Eggman leader, the like adult one, the normal one, goes over and tricks Nine into helping them, and they make Metal Sonic, which isn't really Metal Sonic. He's called Chaos Sonic. And I like this Chaos Sonic. He is an exact copy of Sonic, but metal, and he won't stop yapping, and Sonic realizes how annoying he is. He then defeats it with the help of Knuckles and Dread. Dread is the pirate version of Knuckles. And they get the shards and save Nine. Nine and Sonic then run through the dimensions protecting the shards. They go to the ocean place and get the help of the pirates. They go to the jungle and get the help of the jungle people. And then they end up breaking out and going to the ghost space with Shadow. Unfortunately, the egg people follow, and it's a massive battle with Nine being the only person smart enough to align the crystals. Sonic and Shadow are then fighting the egg people. The egg people are too strong. Sonic then asks Nine for help. Nine then suggests that they can use crystal power, prism power, to power Sonic up. He goes and destroys them all. They make a giant kaiju, Eggman kaiju, big prism monster, prism titan. So they soup up Sonic again, and he goes really fucking cool. He looks awesome. He gets his sort of glowing ghost effect, and then smashes the titan down in a very awesome battle. We then go back to the crystals. Nine says he's finished because there's one missing. He then tells Sonic where it is, and then defeats Sonic and says, "You don't actually care about me. You don't want me. I don't want to help you build your home. I want to build a new home for all of us to go to, because you won't care about me once your home is back." So he feels betrayed. He feels like he can't trust Sonic, and leaves to go to his new dimension, which we saw him go to last time. Sonic and Shadow are then left stranded in the ghost area, and that's where it ends, leading into Season 3. It's very exciting news, very exciting indeed. And the animation is flawless. Again, it looks so cool. And we go back to the original Green Hill Zone, and it has this very nice effect, which is basically animation before it's finished, before they add colour, before they polish it up. It looks like a sketch of the place, and I really like how they did that, because it looks unfinished. And it's all the life drained out of it, and it just looks so perfect. I really like that. I like how we go to the other places again. I would have liked a couple new ones. Again, sticking to these 5, it is quite boring. Could have had another character being introduced here, there, or somewhere. But, you know, sticking with the same cast is fine. I do believe the voice of Kai from Ninjago plays Knuckles and some of the Eggmen. I don't know, I feel like he's a very important character and plays quite a few voice roles in the series. Again, I like how Shadow was more important in this series. With Shadow being one of my favourite characters from Sonic, my top 3 favourites are Shadow, Silver, and Sonic. So I'm very excited that Shadow has played a bigger part. He played a bigger part in the first 2 episodes and the last 2 episodes than he did in the rest of them. There is 10 episodes, all around 25 minutes each. So if you do the math, it will take you around 2 hours to watch, I think. 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 3 hours-ish. And I blasted this all out in one go, as I do, because I have so much free time, I can blast this out all in one go. And you can too. It's not very long, you know, like 2-3 hours, easy watch on a night. But I am very excited for Season 3. It has left it on a very good cliffhanger, and the animation is so good. It has continued the quality of animation from last time, and it just looks so clean, so good, and it's just, I like this animation style. I don't know what it is. It just has a really nice, appealing look to it. It's very bright, very colourful, and it just looks visually appealing. The fights are really cool as well. They've upped their game in the fights. The comedy has sort of stayed very similar, very lackluster, very child-friendly comedy going on. Nothing too extreme there. I didn't find myself laughing at every joke, but there was a couple that did get me, so I did have a little chuckle whilst watching this. Metal Sonic, I think, they didn't do justice to. Metal Sonic is supposed to be like this badass character from the games, and they made him more of like a comedy joke character in here. I'm not gonna lie, I did like this version of Metal Sonic, but I know there's gonna be a couple of hardcore fans that don't. So I'm just bringing that point up. I'm being the devil's advocate because I actually like this character. I think Metal Sonic should be like this. I think he should be a copy of Sonic, including his comedy, including his back talk. I think he should have that. I like that. I thought it was a cool inclusion because it's something that we haven't seen from Metal Sonic before. And it just adds that nice little bit of touch. Just giving Sonic a little bit of taste of his own medicine, a little fuck you back from Eggman with like, you know, you won't shut the fuck up, I'll make something that won't shut the fuck up and will annoy you like you annoy me. I like that. It just adds a little bit of personal touch to it. We also have quite a few fight scenes between Nine. I liked how he was the mole on the inside, and I like how they played it, where he thought he was doing a good job at hiding his sort of betrayal against the egg people, but I also like how the teen egg person knew what Nine was doing, but Nine didn't know, and he knew that Nine didn't know, and it could go into this whole rabbit hole and me repeat myself, but, you know, it was really, really interesting to see how he slowly sort of put the pieces together, let him do it. He knew he was doing it, and he was letting him do it for so long until he thought, you know what, fuck it, you're helping Sonic. And he ratted him out to all the egg people. I thought that was really smart and really cool how he waited to reveal it. And I would have liked them to add Silver in at some point, because Silver, as a character, again, being my second favourite character, he is an interdimensional hedgehog. He is a time traveller. He is a dimension hopper. So I don't understand why they haven't added him in yet, especially with a series about Sonic travelling the dimensions, travelling the shadow space. I hope in Season 3 we do get to see Silver, and Silver is in the dimension that Tails wants to go to, because Silver is a hedgehog from miles into the future. So I'm hoping that in the dimension that Tails goes to, Silver is there. Silver's just there, and he's going to help Sonic, because I think that'll be such a cool inclusion to add, such a cool detail to add, especially with him being a dimension traveler himself. Why won't he help? Of course he'll help. He's a dimension traveler. He will want to save the dimensions and stop Eggman trying to merge them all together. I think that's his plan. I don't know. His plan, he was arguing with all his different variants, and his plan got very convoluted and confusing. They all want different things, so I don't know what they're actually going with. And yeah, I just want them to add a couple more interesting characters. I feel like seeing the same band of characters in different situations was good the first time, but seeing them repeat it, it kind of got boring, it kind of got stale. I would have liked a little bit of new from it. We got to see characters in a little bit more detail, like Dredd. We got to see more of his sort of pirate side, where all he cared about was the gold. He didn't really care about his crew, and he didn't really care about Sonic, which sort of goes against what he learned from the first one. I feel like back in Season 1, he sort of learned to respect his crew, learned to respect his ship, learned to not just care about the booty and care more about his crew. I feel like he learned that in the first one, so I don't know why we're going back on it in the second one, other than you need it for plot development. It felt kind of like a betrayal to Dredd's character. However, I do like the Dredd storyline in this one. It was pretty interesting. I just feel like we could have had, you know, it just went back on his character development from Season 1. But again, it is a kid's show, so kids won't pay attention to his character development and just be like, ooh, pirate, steal, greedy, ooh, wow. Yes, kids are stupid. Yeah, so that was Sonic Prime Season 2. I gave it what I liked. I would have liked Shadow to be a little bit more involved. He sort of felt like he was going to be more involved, especially from the trailer and the promotional images, the posters and stuff. And he was supposed to be Sonic's wingman, Sonic's helper through the dimensions, and he sort of appeared for the first two, appeared for the last two, and then disappeared for the rest. So he was missing for like 4 or 5 episodes out of 10, out of 9, whatever, how many there is, I forgot. But yeah, I'm going to give this series a solid 7 out of 10. I feel like Season 1 was more interesting, and Season 2 we just got more of the same thing, so it didn't feel as fresh and exciting. But I do like how they traveled a lot more and the dimensions sort of intertwined more. Because now we have the pirates in New York City, we have some of the jungle crew in the pirate dimension, and it's all getting messed up. And I'm quite excited to see how it all goes down in Season 3.